A hotel just minutes from your cruise sounds perfect, right? But is Hyatt Centric Las Olas worth the price? Or should you stay someplace else? We're checking in to find out.
Okay, we are headed down to our room. It did not take too long for our room to get ready. We are in room 1247, which is all the way down at the end of the hallway. Found it. Not quite. Ooh, this is nice. First impressions. I like that there's no carpeting on the floor. I like the artwork. First impressions. Everyone's going, ooh. So we are going to take off our bags and we're going to give you a proper tour of our small space here. Okay, everyone, we are going to take a tour of this space, and this tour is going to be different because it is a small space and everybody is in the room with me, and that's just perfectly fine. That's real life. So I'm going to show you the door with the people. So again, we are in room 1247. When you come in, you have this open area where you have your closet. There are no doors here, really. It's all open space. If you had something long to hang, you could hang it over here. There's also an iron board and an iron. Somebody reach up there. Those look like robes. Oh, those are different because they are gray and not the usual white. Okay, so now that our luggage has arrived, which I'm happy that happened so that you can see how much room you have here for your luggage. We have 4 hard side bags, plus a knapsack, another overnight bag. There's another overnight bag / knapsack in the bench over there. But there is plenty of space. There are drawers over here as well. Fairly deep drawers. There's 3 of them. Plus you have over here a safe that you could use, and you could definitely get a laptop in there. It's deep. It goes deep in there, so if you needed to do that, you could. And then what I love right away about the floor, and the reason why I was oohing and eyeing, was that it just looks so clean and fresh in here. And I have to tell you, when I was researching where we should stay for this single night, it took me months to find a hotel that had decent ratings, and this was one of them. I love the fact that there's no carpeting on the floor. This is probably that high traffic vinyl, and that's fine. It matches, it goes with the decor. This looks great. I like the open space, and as I was starting to say, I think it's really unique that the robes, let me grab one down, are not your typical white, but they're a gray. It really feels like a sweatshirt material as well. So definitely a different feel for your robes. There are no slippers that I've seen just yet to go with the robes, but it's just a nice touch to have the robes. So if you need your coffee or tea in the morning, you have your Keurig here ready to go for you. You also have some complimentary bottles of water. Don't mind our drinks from the Cheesecake Factory. And over here, okay, you have yourself a cooler here. And what I love about this is that it's not loaded with drinks that are time censored or pressure censored, so that you don't have to worry about paying for anything extra. So that's great. Ice bucket. Some more storage space here. This is unique as well. It's a high boy sort of desk situation instead of your usual typical desk. What's also different is usually in a hotel room you have a mirror here, and that's not the case. And I think the lamp is really funky. You do have outlets here and 2 USBs in the wall. So over here you have a TV that's mounted on the wall. It does not swivel, but it's a nice newer television. You have here another area that can act as a bench. So instead of like a traditional dresser, which is the other thing that I like about this room, you have more storage space. I could see this doubling as also like your luggage rack, that they do have one in the room. And then you have 2 queen beds, which they look really very comfortable. I have not stayed in a Hyatt in quite some time, so I'm not sure what to expect from the beds, but the linens feel okay. Not as lush and plush as I would like, but I think we'll be okay. They feel just average linens that we have here. You have a nightstand in between the two beds. There's a clock here, which is unusual. You don't usually see clocks in the room anymore. You have 2 USBs back here and another outlet. You have a side lamp, of course, the telephone. And you have this interesting artwork here on the wall. I'll step back and let you get a look at that. Here's the thing to note though. If you are staying on the outer edge of the queen beds, you will have a nice little reading light here. However, there's no plug here, so there's no outlet. So you would need to bring one of those super long wires so that you could reach over to the center outlet there. Okay, so migrating over to the other side of the bed here, there's just one long railing here. Just rubbing my hands along the top here, and I don't feel or see any dust, so that's good. There is another reading light over here, and similar to the far left-hand side of the room, there's no outlet. So you would need to have yourself an extended wire if you wanted to charge while you're in bed. While we're over on this side of the room, you have your control panels. So here is your panel for controlling the temperature in the room, digital. And then you have lights here. You can control the entry. You can control the chair lamp, which we'll talk about in a second. The full, it says master here, and then the desk lamp. So just coming over to this corner of the room, there is a single chair in the room. That means the room is large enough for the 2 queen-size beds and a chair. There's a nice lamp here. I like the geometric shapes and patterns in the room. I will say that it looks like there's a little staining on the chair, but there is a chair here. There's a little snack side tray here as well, where they've kept the remote control for you. There is an open plug back here if you were sitting here and wanted to charge. Otherwise, you'd have to charge over at the high boy desk area. So in this center nightstand, you have a 1 drawer in here, and surprisingly, it does not have a flashlight. And then there is a cubby underneath, and under the beds, there is no storage space for your luggage. So all of your luggage needs to go in the spaces that we've already talked about, the space under the TV or right as you come in at the closet. So the other thing I wanted to point out is that there is a single full-length mirror in the room, so you can check yourself out before you head out, and there's a hook over top of that. Next thing I want to do is the bathroom. One of the things I love about traveling are the fancy bathrooms. So I have not peeked in here, so you'll get genuine reaction as to whether I think the bathroom is nice and what I think about the bathroom. Still, barnyard doors are in fashion. Let's see what's behind this door. Oh, that's nice. Okay. I'll tell you right away what I like about this particular bathroom is I like the tile on the wall. I like the shower head and the fact that there is a rain shower and there's also a wand in there. I like the marbling here, the artwork and how they're carrying the circle throughout the room. I think is really nice. Even though this is not a huge bathroom with its own separate water closet, there is still a nice amount of space in here. We should be fine. It's only a single night. The other thing I would point out is that there is at least 1 hook over here. And I'm going to touch the towels and tell you what I think about the towels. Oh, these are soft. These are nice, soft towels. Surprising, because I thought that they would not be because of how the sheets felt. The sheets feel a little not luxe. And when I think Hyatt, I think luxe. We have in here Be Kind products. So there's body lotion here, there's a facial bar, there's also an amenities kit. Something else that I noticed when we were just getting a closer look at the shower that I absolutely love is that the on-off function is over here on this wall and not under the shower head. So when you're in there trying to adjust the water, you're not going to get rained on until you figure it out. I really like that this is over on this side of the shower. The thing that I really like about this is that it's a lighted mirror, so if you are doing your makeup, that gives you that extra little oomph for doing your makeup. There is an amenities kit right here on the sink. Let's see what's in here. You have your shower cap, and there are two of those in here. Shower bonnets is what they call them. You have, oh, I haven't seen this in a long time, a sewing kit. An actual sewing kit, some Q-tips, a bandage, and a cotton swab. There are two of those. And you have two makeup remover wipes. That's nice to have, considering that they don't have a black cloth for you to take your makeup off with. So this is a nice little amenities kit. So the other thing that I really wanted to talk to you about is our view. What is a hotel room if it doesn't have a view? So we have, and I'm seeing this for the first time as you are, a pool view. So there is a pool down there. I understand from the front desk that that is the 8th floor. We'll go down and we'll have a closer look. This is really nice. That's fancy. And we're right near the Riverwalk here in downtown Fort Lauderdale. One thing that you should know that I have learned is that there aren't any restaurants on the Riverwalk. It's all about getting yourself a tour to take a tour of the area. And there's also a water taxi. This is really a mix of a downtown area where you have office buildings, there are plenty of brokerage firms and banks, and you have apartment buildings. In fact, this building is partly residential as well. So now we're going to talk about how much this room cost. There is a charge on my card right now for $654. That is $100 more than this room rate was quoted at, and that is because they've put a $100 incidental fee on the card. And if we don't use that $100 by going downstairs, eating in the bar, the restaurant, then we get that money back. At this point, we don't have any plans to do that, but I do want to let you know that there is a resort fee that's charged for this hotel, and I want to let you know what's covered in it. They do give you this little card to let you know, and the destination fee is what they call it. You get unlimited bike rentals. So if you're into riding bikes, you can get yourself a bike rental with a self-guided tour and map of popular sites in Fort Lauderdale. You have 2 beach chairs, towels, and an umbrella to take to the beach. You have a BOGO entry to the NSU Art Museum, which is really just right across the street, and a discount to the NSU shop, 10% discount on a water taxi sightseeing tour. They give you the code here. There's also a Tesla car service that is available within a 2-mile radius from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you get a 25% discount on yoga classes through MindBody. So for the resort fee, you do get a lot. So if you are going to go to the beach, if you are interested in the art museum, and you do have a few discounts that you can use. We are on the 8th floor, and this is their convention floor, and this is also where you will find your way out to the pool. We're going to find our way there. This is the Las Olas Terrace. Let's have a look out here. Out on the Las Olas Terrace. There's a lot of construction going on at the moment at the time that we are here. A lot of high-rise buildings going up here near the waterway. And then here you have the NSU Art Museum across the street. And that is the museum for which you can get your discount if you let them know that you're staying right here at this hotel. So there's plenty of places to sit out here. 4 large cushy chairs where you can just sit and relax. You come off of the elevators to your right, you will find the fitness center, pool, and pool bar. And here is the fitness center. I'm being told there's no one in here. And this is a nice size fitness center. All of your essential equipment, you have your cycles, you have your weight machines, your kettlebells, ellipticals, you have your treadmills. This is really a nice gem. All of this is Life Fitness equipment, and there, of course, are your free weights. So we have found the pool and the Elevate Pool and Bar. So we're now down in the lobby area. There's seating. There's also the Harborwood Urban Kitchen that's attached here to the hotel. And in the lobby itself, there's places for you to work. There's a whole charging station here at this desk area. There are games available for you here to play. There's a tic-tac-toe set. There are plugs, outlets in the floor there, and you have your very tall back chairs where you can sit. There's also couches available for you to sit. So as this is sunny Florida, you can also get yourself a seat outside if it were cool. You see that they do have the gas lamps there, but you can eat indoors or outdoors here at the hotel. Okay, so now we're talking about how we felt. We spent a night in this hotel. I'm going to ask you some questions. Let us know how you feel.
All right, let's go.
How much room? Was it comfortable enough for a family of 4?
I thought it was really comfortable. The beds were really nice and firm, not lumpy, very comfortable. The sheets were nice. It wasn't soft and plush, but they were all really good. Had a good night's sleep. The room, for 4, I guess we could use a little more room, but you know, it is what it is. But it was fine. My only knocks against it was that there wasn't a dining table, so we can have some snacks, dinner, whatever we had. Not enough chairs here for 4. There was 1 chair and 1 working high bar stool, but that was it.
As a pre-cruise hotel, would you recommend this?
Oh yeah, highly recommended. I think it was in the right area. I think I Googled it yesterday, and it's 15 minutes away from the Fort Lauderdale port. So I think it's really convenient. It's not exactly at the port, but it's close enough. And it's in a location where there was restaurants and places to go. So I think it's an ideal place, and I would highly recommend it.
Last question, value for money.
Okay, so value for money, I think it's a little pricey. So it all depends on what you want to spend when you come for a night before the cruise. I think it was $550, let's say, around that price range, and that might be a little pricey depending on what you want to do. It is a nice hotel. There's a few amenities that we didn't actually use, but it's available to anyone who stays in this hotel.
So a few things. Family of 4 in this space. I thought that considering we are a family of 4 in this space, there was plenty of walk space. We didn't bump into each other. Could it have been bigger? Sure. But for the size, this is, I felt, exceptional. It was really, really good. The beds, I know in the day before clip, I talked about the sheets and how the sheets were, but the beds were comfortable. The pillows were soft. I just floated right away into an amazing sleep. So the beds are great. So the next thing I would say is I love the location. We are in the 100 block of the East Las Olas area. A few blocks up, you run into all of the shops and all of the restaurants and all of the art galleries. We even had a lunch at the Cheesecake Factory. Not extravagant, I know, but still we have a video for that. It's either coming or will be coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Check out the playlist for this trip. Hotel is family friendly. You do have the pool down there. You do have the Las Olas walking district that was very family friendly. Plenty of ice cream shops to choose from. So all of that was great. The one thing we didn't take advantage of is we are right here by the riverfront in the Riverwalk. We were just exhausted. We had gotten up at 3 a.m. So we did not take advantage of the beautiful weather and take a walk along there. Value for money. So as Paul mentioned, this was pricey. I think it was $654, and that's with a $100 hole on my credit card for incidentals. We made sure not to use any of the incidentals. As the researcher in this group, there were a bunch of hotels that were more expensive than this for one night, and there were a bunch that were cheaper. I went with this. It felt like middle of the road because of the reviews, and the reviews were accurate. It's a clean hotel. It's safe. It's in a great neighborhood. It's within walking distance. There are amenities, as Paul mentioned, that we didn't use that we could have used. So I feel like you do get good value for the dollar here. Going back to that additional $100 incidental charge that they put on our card, I didn't love that. We did not use it. Instead, we went over to the Publix. The Publix, I believe, is on the 300 block. We got some dinner and we got some breakfast from the grab and go at the Publix, much cheaper and cost effective for our family of 4. They will give me back the $100. What I don't like is that it's going to take 4 to 5 business days. So somebody's earning money on the float, and it's not me.
Thanks for joining us at the Hyatt Centric Fort Lauderdale. This was just the beginning of our Sun Princess adventure. Next up, we're taking you around Las Olas and then boarding the Sun Princess for an unforgettable cruise. From onboard dining to island excursions, we've got a lot to share. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you know when the next adventure begins. And no matter where your next adventures take you, we hope that you enjoy the journey. Bye now.